Hi, everyone. It's late again, late for me. And tonight is daylight savings fallback. So don't forget to put your clocks back. Anyway, I'm Kataka, and I'm just tuning in with my daily evening, at this point, evening. Um, Little Facebook Live. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about kind of what's happening right now in the world with people and situations, and all the negativity that's happening right now. And in a world where there's a lot of transformation and a lot of negative people and situations, you absolutely must find tools to help yourself, elevate yourself into a positive place. So it really is about two things: eliminating the negative and tuning them out, and then, discovering and tuning into the positive things. So I'm just going to give you a couple little tips right now that help me. And I like to actually discover a lot of different tools because I tend to get bored. My mind gets bored. So I want to continue, searching for new and fun things that people either download or they invent, or, that they basically put out into the world. Okay. Or, which is really exciting, they rediscover from, for example, ancient, writings or ancient things that were not passed on to people. I'm going to talk in a minute about that, okay? So a couple things, I'm just going to throw it out there, real simple. Number one, don't watch the news. It seems simple, but I know that sometimes we want to actually find out what's going on in the world because maybe we get bored. I know I do. But don't watch the news if you can help it. Probably more than likely nothing is going to happen catastrophically that will directly involve you if you don't watch the news for a while. And I was just reading something today about how the physical newspapers actually have more interesting news and more kind of human news than the political and the just the whole stuff that's happening right now, the negative stuff around race and misogyny and all the political climate. So that might be something to do if you really feel like you want to, read the news. But that's number one. Number two, I would say to raise your vibration, you want to meditate every day. I meditate for 7 minutes every single day. And the other thing, and you can do that, by the way, with a timer. So the other thing I want to mention is music. As you know, I have been doing Reiki for over 33 years. And over the course of doing all of that, practicing and experimenting with myself, my students, my clients, and, writing a book about Reiki and all of this stuff, I now am able to funnel that positive energy. I intend that positive energy into my music. And, you don't necessarily have to listen to Reiki music, my music, although I'd love for you to. You can actually, any music that's positive, that uplifts you, that's going to change your vibration. Totally change your vibration. Another tool I want to just mention, which I use on a regular basis, is one of the greatest things that we have in this world is YouTube. And sometimes if I'm feeling down, or I am, traveling somewhere, I'm taking a walk, anything like that, I will listen to positive affirmations, and they're free. And there's one channel I listen to, and I always suggest it to people. Now, it's more of a binaural beat, hypnosis type channel. It's called Rockstar Affirmations, and you can go find it on YouTube. I'm not affiliated with them, but I use them regularly if I want to reprogram more positivity into my life. And another person you can actually listen to is a woman by the name of Esther Hicks. You might know her because she channels a group entity that is otherworldly, named Abraham Hicks. And she talks about having positive rampages, which is basically you're talking to yourself positively, almost like a rampage of love, a rampage of success, a rampage of high self-esteem. And like today I was shopping, for food, and I really did not feel like being in public, but I had to go get some food. And I put on my earbuds on my phone, and I walked around the store, and I listened to rampages of positive self-worth. And it made me feel better. And, I was done in no time, right? And back at home. So those are just a couple of suggestions. I mean, it really is literally, now that we have this internet, it's at our fingertips. You can change your state, your positive state, literally instantaneously almost. It's just that what we need to do is we need to train our mind to keep going there, and it's like a muscle. So that leads me to, speaking of training, I have a wonderful Reiki course. It is online, but I'm just about to relaunch it, and I'm really, really excited because speaking of training and all of that, several years ago, there was a discovery in the Reiki world, in the healing Reiki world, and a lot of people here in America don't know about it. It was literally some lost teachings that were recently discovered. Now, for those of you who don't know, Reiki, even though it's been around for, some version of it has been around for millennia, it didn't come to America in the modality of Reiki. It didn't actually come in that package, so to speak, until the 1970s. So it bounced from Japan, and it was like in China and in Tibet before that. But that modality was created and downloaded, if you want to call it that, in Japan. Excuse me. I'm getting tired already. But it was downloaded in Japan, and then in Japan, it was carried orally by people to Hawaii, and then from Hawaii, it was brought to the mainland. But here's the thing. Some of the people that brought it, they had made a decision that certain teachings were not appropriate, or they felt that Americans or Westerners were not going to be able to understand these particular teachings. So these teachings were simply never brought to the West. They were considered lost teachings, okay? So here's the cool thing. They are now here. And I'm one of the only people, Reiki masters, that I know, and my school is one of the only schools that actually teaches all of our students this particular lost teaching. Now, the lost teaching is called the Kotodama, and what it is it's a simple chant. And what I'm doing right now is I'm creating actually a video, a 3-part short video series that I'm going to actually gift to anybody who wants it. I'm going to actually gift it to people that are in my group. I have a group here on Facebook called Positive Attitudes for Spiritual Warriors. And there's almost 6,000, actually there's almost 6,300 people in that group. And I'm going to be actually giving everybody in that group this positive, chant. It is a chant, and I'll be probably sharing that chant in the group. So if you want to be a part of that, go look for the group. You can actually find it on this page, on the We Heal University page. Look under group sections, and it's called Positive Affirmations for Spiritual Warriors. And I'll be putting it in there in the next couple of days. You will have to give me your email address so that I can send you the link, and then you'll have it. I'm actually not going to do the chant right now because my voice is a little scratchy and I'm a little tired. But it is a very simple chant. You just have to know how to actually enunciate it. So I think that's kind of all I want to talk about right now. I'm definitely fading. I've been working on my Kotodama videos and the whole process around getting it online all day. And actually, for the last week, I've been doing that. So I'm really, really looking forward to gifting it to anybody and everybody who wants it. And here's why. It's not so much I have any type of agenda, okay? It's just that if you think about how the planet is going right now and how there is so much negative stuff, I don't know about you, but I could get very, very angry about some of the people that are not acting like humans. They're not thinking about other people. They're being very selfish, and they're being a little bit, I don't know, for lack of a better word, they're just really not in their humane, their human heart. They're kind of acting like animals, like not even animals. They're acting like demons. Okay, not to get too weird about that, but I'll just say energetically, it's not positive. And so even though this world has become more positive, we tend to get distracted by those things that make too much noise that are negative. So that's why we need to constantly retrain our energy, our mind, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. We need to retrain so that type of stuff, the volume gets turned down, right? So my agenda for sharing the Kotodama is that when you learn the Kotodama, it vibrationally elevates you, and it's a simple chant, okay? And so I'm excited about sharing it with as many people as possible because we need to elevate the planet. And the planet is elevating. Boy, I don't know about you guys, but 25, 30 years ago when we didn't have the internet, it was a very, very different planet. It was a very different way that we communicated, right? A little bit slower. And I could go on and on about that. But for those of you who were around before the internet, it was a very different world. Now we have a lot of options, too many options almost. We have a lot of distraction, and we get too much information. So we have to really focus on what works for us to make us happy. That's the lesson. So I'm excited about sharing the Kotodama. Please go and join the Positive Attitudes for Spiritual Warriors group. And like I said, in order to get into the group, you'll have to just, there's a couple of questions to answer. You'll have to just, basically give me your email, and then I'll be happy to send that to you. And I think you're really going to love it. So let me just read some of these little messages here, and thank you for everybody that's on tonight. Yeah, from, is it Sherry or Cherry? Sorry if I'm not saying that right. How generous, thank you. Well, wonderful. I'm so glad that you actually are going to, check that out. And then it says, I'm glad you changed that. Not saying unmask is a negative. We are all animals in my experience. And what else does that say? I can't read the rest of it. But yeah, you're right. It's animals are great. There's nothing wrong with animals, right? Animals are just themselves. They are just being animals. It's this this demon, that this energy. It's this negative energy, and we don't need that. Every human has that, both the negative and the positive, and I guarantee you, when anybody is in their negative, they don't feel good. Every single person, whether they're sad, depressed, angry, low self-esteem, anything like that, even if they're, for example, masking their feelings with, any kind of substance, whether it's drugs, alcohol, smoking, food, any addiction, I guarantee you, people are not actually feeling good, and they want to mask that. Every single human, I mean, it's natural. We want to feel good. So let's just feel good. However, sometimes we have things in us that we have to release because of past hurts, right? So we need to actually reprogram, because the saboteur, the old, inner child, or the old inner habits, those bad habits, those habits that don't actually help us, they don't want to die either. They don't want to die. And what I call that is the saboteur. So I'm kind of going off on a tangent right now, but I just want to say that when you have the tools and you consistently use them every day, you're going to feel better. You have to discover the tools that work for you. I have a vast amount of tools that actually help me, and I use them on a daily basis. Of course, I don't use all of them, but, when I get bored, I'll use another one, right? But I do believe that these negative energies are, you can call them negative, you can call them, I call them entities, actually. They're almost like entities. They're a negative, demonic vibration. They're a lower darkness. They aren't the light. However, they are our teachers. And that's the thing that's really, really intense to look at from a different perspective. Those negative energies, that negative self-talk, the feelings of negativity, sadness, anger, anything like that we have in us, any of the trauma that we've had in the past, we actually, those are our teachers, and we have to actually learn those lessons, and then we can release them, right? So anyway, I'm excited about sharing the Kotodama with you. I will be doing that in the following few days. So go ahead and join the group, Positive Attitudes for Spiritual Warriors. And I'm excited about sharing that with you, because it is a lost teaching that never made it over here to America or the West. And now we get another tool that we can use. Okay? Anyway, have a great night. I'm going to go crash. And like I said, don't forget to change your clocks back, because we get, I guess we get an extra hour, I think. Did we get an extra hour, or did we lose an hour? Anyway, whatever it is, it's daylight savings time tonight. So have a great night. Good night now. Bye.